Welcome, friends. It's Frank here from Talking Grace, and today's topic is going to be that of giants. Yes, giants. Did a race of humans or giant humans leave visible proof of their existence and their accomplishments in the past? There is a growing number of belief in on the internet and through different people that giants were part of a previous historical world that eventually saw their demise by God Yahweh during the flood of Noah's time. Although they are mentioned straight after Noah's time as well. Most scientists are very skeptical of excavations claiming to unearth enormous skeletons of humans over the past century. And that's fair enough. There's been a lot of hoaxes in this area as well. It's interesting, just for the record, Robert Pershing Wadlow, who died in July 15, 1914, was at the time the tallest person in medical history for whom there is irrefutable proof. Wadlow reached 8 feet 11 inches, or 11.1 inches in the height, and weighed 490 pounds at his death. And Zhen Jinlian was the tallest female recorded in medical history. Now, at the time of her death on February 13, 1982, she was 17 and was 8 feet 1.75 inches tall. Now, these unusually tall people, in comparison to the race of giants reported to have lived in the days of Noah before the flood, possibly were even taller and bigger. We don't know. Right? We'll never know, I guess. Many who believe the Bible account at Genesis chapter 6:4 not only believe these giants were real, but that archaeology may yet confirm their existence, or have already proven their existence, and the truth is being covered up by certain people who cannot fit these giants into the theory of evolution. And now that's possible as well. Okay? It's just like people today who won't believe that Yahweh is not the Father. So, because they won't believe that, they try to make the connection, I'll rephrase that Yahweh is the Father. And so when they see evil atrocities, terrorism acts in the Bible, they always try to cover up these by explaining away that, well, Yahweh is above our thoughts, his ways are higher than our ways, we have no clue why he did this. Sort of reasoning like that. But whatever reason why he sent plagues, killed kids, women, children, animals, livestock, whatever the reasons were, the flood of Noah's day, the violence, why he committed all these acts, we have no idea. Okay? But they won't can't make the connection that Yahweh isn't the Father. They won't say that. Isn't that interesting? They can't say that. Can't get themselves to say that. And so this is the same reason. There is certainly the same sort of idea. People are trying to cover up the truth about these giants. Genesis 6:4 says this: there were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. The same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. King James Version. The Good New Translation says this: in those days, even later, there were giants, Nephilim in Hebrew, on the earth, who were descendants of human women and the heavenly beings. They were the great heroes and the famous men of long ago. It doesn't say these guys were bad or anything. They're just saying that these were giants. And they were mighty men of old, men of renown. So, if they were really giant or mighty men who were famous, men of long ago, would it be unimaginable, is the question, for these beings to leave visible proof of their existence and accomplishments? Is it possible they could do that if they were that known? Well, could this explain the could this explain how the Great Pyramid was built? The Great Pyramid of Giza and other such pyramids that are constantly being found around the world. How these blocks, some weighing as much as it says here, 50 tons, were transported and assembled in the exact center of the earth. For this, a lot of people find it a mystery, right? They really don't know how or why or whatever this was all done. Experts say it was built with such precision that our current technology can't replicate it. So it's interesting, isn't it? It is far-fetched to believe that humans of extraordinary size, is it far-fetched to believe that humans of extraordinary size and strength may have created a structure impossible to duplicate to this day? According to tradition, the Nephilim were extremely intelligent people. Being the offspring of fallen angels, as they say, they knew all about science, architecture, engineering, and the supernatural. Jewish historian, actually, Flavius Josephus, reportedly described these hybrid humans as having bodies so large and countenances so entirely different from other men that they were surprising to the sight and terrible to the hearing, according to Josephus. For example, there is also, not only that, but there's the prehistoric monument called Stonehenge, in Wiltshire, England, with the standing stones as high as 30 feet, some weighing at least 50 tons. It remains a mystery to who could have designed this structure thousands of years ago and why. Another structure, a spiral-shaped monument consisting of 5 circles within the circles of a stone called the Gilgal Rephaim, can still be seen in the Middle East today. Now, some of those stones used to create the rings weigh as much as 20 tons. To this day, no one is certain who built it, how, or why. Also, then there's the incredible ruins at Baalbek, B-A-A-L, Baal, as in Baal, Bek, B-E-K, in Lebanon. The temple has stones of some 1,500 tons, in its foundation. Experts say that they are the largest work stones on earth. No crane in the world today can lift anywhere near what these blocks weigh, friends. None. It is a mystery how such stones could be moved, lifted 30 feet in the air, placed together so closely that even a thin sheet of paper can't get through between the blocks. It's amazing. Now, all these monuments date back some 5,000 years or more. Some say, the reason why I'm saying is some say this is when the Bible talked about these ones. There's also writings around that time, such as the Epic of Gilgamesh, described the exploits of a being who was 2/3 God and 1/3 man. So that's quite interesting as well. One version of this Akkadian cuneiform text reads, "In Uruk he built walls, a great rampart, and the temple of blessed Eanna for the god of the firmament, Anu, and for Ishtar, the goddess of love." Now, could myths of these, as they say, demigods, like Hercules, Achilles, and Gilgamesh, Neptune, all these gods, type of gods, could find some basis in truth then. So these legends, are they just made up? You see? If the Bible records such giants, hybrids who existed, and then these monuments which no one can explain how they were built, who put them there, and why. Could they actually be a reality that's just been sort of swept under the carpet because of the flood and because of whatever reasons, aside from that Yahweh doesn't want the world to know about? Because it was Yahweh who brought about this flood. Why would he do that? Besides the explanation given, the wickedness. The truth is, whoever constructed these monuments left their architectural handiwork behind, and humans have been unable to duplicate it. Scientists have yet to fully comprehend or even explain it. If a hybrid race of giants, with the aid of their parents, let's say, left proof of their existence in structures no other people could reproduce, maybe, and that could be possibly why. Perhaps there is another explanation also. I'm not sure. I can't tell you that for sure, right? But there is explanations out there. It's whether or not we want to believe in them or not, or what we can say is true or not. But if there really was a species of giant humans before the flood who were so big, so strong, and so, as they say, violent, as we're led to believe, and so intelligent, right, that God decided to end their reign of terror in a worldwide flood, that's what we're led to believe. What would that suggest about the global crime and violence today, friends? Are we not seeing this happening today? You know, it's interesting that when Yahweh, I've been thinking about this, Yahweh acts in the past, and we see these acts today. It's the similar MO, right? Yahweh had control over the world in the past. He put kings in place. We went through this in my previous video. He put kings in place and took them out of place. Nebuchadnezzar tested this. Cyrus tested this. Saul, and we have Solomon. We have even the Exodus in Egypt. Who put the Pharaoh in place? Do you realize it was Yahweh? We'll get to that in my next video. Yahweh put Pharaoh in his place. And then Yahweh removed him. When you see the worldwide, and when you see acts happening in the past, notice that they're almost in big numbers of countries and nations are being wiped out. You know what they call that today? Overpopulation. They call it a reset. And this is the same, and for whatever reason, they'll show you graphs, right? Look at the graph. Oh, okay, yeah, we need to do something. Where does all this thinking come from? It comes from the past. Look at, in Chronicles and Samuel. Interesting account there we'll get to another day. 70,000 were killed over a census. David put in a play of census to be done. But it says there that he was tempted by Yahweh. First up in Samuel it says it's Yahweh. And then later on, the name change came to Satan. But the point is this, 70,000 were wiped out. Remember, as humanity grows and the numbers get bigger, it seems Yahweh has a problem dealing with humanity. He has a problem with not able to control humanity. And so his solution was in the past to wipe out people, wipe out the whole world at one point. Even these intelligent giants who were, it seems, could be behind these monuments. He wanted to get rid of them. Didn't want to hybrid a race like that, did he? It seems so. But he had no problem for them existing for a while until he decided to act for the reason of wickedness. Well, don't be surprised that what you see today are the remnants of Yahweh's seed trying to wipe out humanity. This is a warning, I believe. Coming from the past, when we look at human history, that's what we see. We see all these resets happening, and we are in another phase of a reset. Thankfully, the Lord Jesus did come, and we are thankful that we have now been born into his world and we have escaped the darkness, as it were, and in his love. But our job, friends, is to spread the light, the truth about the Father, and the truth about what's going on. You know, not to be afraid to share the light. To assume the Nephilim was just a tall tale to entertain people could be a big mistake, friends. To assume Yahweh's tolerance of wickedness and violence will go on forever will be a huge mistake. You see, he's an exacting God, Yahweh. Yahweh equals Satan. This is how he works. Yahweh is just his name, right? I mean, he transforms himself into an angel of light, and his ministers do. Therefore, which is quite scary, because he speaks righteous things. You see, you look at the leaders today, and they're talking in benevolent terms. Oh, well, we need this. You know, we need these vaccines, right? To what? To control the virus. Now they're waiting for another one. You know, I'm going off topic a little bit here. I'm just free talking. But do you see where this all goes? Now, Christ's reign is different. And it's going to be a different... His approach is different to Yahweh's approach. Obviously, Yahweh's approach is seek, kill, and destroy. Take over. Doesn't matter who he wipes out. That's how he gets the job done. If you like that method, well, that's how he does it. It doesn't matter who you are, your families, you know, your collateral damage. And that's part of progress for him. But that's not how the Father operates, and that's not how Jesus operates. He says, love your enemies. He says, you know, he provides for people. He heals people, gets better, helps people get better. So there is an alternative way to what we're seeing. And it is an education that's happening through the Son. And that is a renewing of our thoughts about who the Father is, accepting Jesus, believing in Jesus, coming to a relationship and being adopted into the family of God, the true God, and sharing the love of him. But we need to get the picture right of their Father and not confuse him with Yahweh. These giants, I believe, were real. I believe all this. I believe they left their fingerprints. Because I have no other way to explain that. To me, they left their fingerprints across the globe. The things that we can't explain, I believe they had a part in that. But that's just, you know, my personal belief there. Thanks for listening, guys. Let me know what you think or what you found out about these giants and what it all means for us today. Take care. See you later.